Bengals fans, we've got breaking news out of Cincinnati, and it's the kind that shows this team is serious about keeping its leaders locked in. The Bengals have officially agreed to a contract extension with one of their most trusted veterans. Stick around, because this move speaks volumes about the front office's commitment heading into the new season. Welcome back to Cincinnati Bengals Talk, your home for everything Stripes. It's an exciting Friday with the Bengals just days away from clashing with the Browns, and the news cycle refuses to slow down. But before we dive deeper into the latest updates, do me a quick favor. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a single Bengals update. We bring you the fastest news, the sharpest analysis, and everything you need to follow the team. All right, now let's get to it. The Bengals have locked down center Ted Karras with a one-year, $5 million extension. NFL insider Ian Rappaport first reported the numbers, and the team confirmed the deal early Friday morning. For those who follow the offseason closely, this doesn't come as a complete surprise. While the spotlight has been on Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and T. Higgins' contract situations, there's been a quiet but important focus on keeping steady veterans like Karras in the fold. When you look at what Karras has brought since arriving in Cincinnati, leadership, toughness, and stability in the middle of the offensive line, it's clear why this move made sense for both sides. The Bengals aren't just paying for talent here. They're investing in culture, continuity, and a locker room presence that every successful team needs. It's clear that Ted Karras isn't just passing through Cincinnati. He genuinely wants to be here. Even as he enters the final stretch of his career at 32 years old, he continues to prove his value. In fact, he's fresh off the best pass blocking season of his career, showing that age hasn't slowed him down one bit. Since joining the Bengals on that original 3-year deal, Karras has been nothing short of reliable. He hasn't missed a single game. That's 50 straight regular season starts plus 3 in the postseason. For a franchise that has struggled in the past to keep its offensive line both healthy and consistent, having someone this dependable in the middle is massive. Beyond the stats, his leadership can't be overlooked. Teammates constantly talk about his presence in the locker room, and even Joe Burrow himself singled him out last season for the impact he's had on the offense. That kind of praise shows exactly why the Bengals felt this extension was worth it. They're not just keeping a lineman, they're keeping a cornerstone of their culture. When you talk about Ted Karras, you're not just talking about a center, you're talking about the heartbeat of the offensive line. He's tough, physical, and brings a spark that teammates rally around. But what makes him special is something that doesn't show up on a stat sheet. Karras is the guy setting up team dinners, opening his home, and making sure the offensive line feels like a family. That type of leadership is priceless in a league where chemistry can be the difference between winning and falling short. Joe Burrow himself has credited Karras for the energy and structure he brings, and this week we've seen even more proof of it. Teammates like Lucas Patrick and Dalton Risner couldn't say enough about how much Karras means to the group, not just as a player, but as a leader. That respect inside the locker room speaks volumes. Deals like this may not dominate headlines, but they're the kind of quiet, smart moves that championship teams make. Some might wonder why Cincinnati would extend him when they've got younger names like Matt Lee or Seth McLaughlin waiting on the practice squad. But the answer is simple. For 1 year at $5 million, it's a no-brainer. You're not just paying for a lineman. You're paying for stability, experience, and a culture builder who makes everyone around him better. When you break it all down, this extension is as simple as it gets. An absolute no-brainer for the Bengals. Ted Karras is now locked in on a team-friendly deal not just for this season, but for next year as well. He's made it clear that he wants to stay in Cincinnati, and with the level he's still playing at, why wouldn't the Bengals want him here? The numbers back it up. According to Pro Football Focus, Karras gave up only 2 sacks last season, and for a center who logged over 1,100 snaps, that's impressive. He was flagged just 3 times all year, and his overall performance graded right in the steady, reliable range that coaches love. His pass blocking score was nearly 70, which is crucial in an offense built around Joe Burrow's arm. And while his run blocking may not jump off the page, it's more than competent in a system that leans heavily on the pass. But the stats only tell part of the story. What matters just as much is chemistry. And Karras has built a strong, trustworthy rapport with Burrow. That center-quarterback connection is one of the most underrated aspects of offensive football, and Cincinnati doesn't have to worry about it for the next 2 seasons. At the end of the day, the Bengals are paying for far more than just consistency on the field. They're paying for leadership in the locker room, toughness in the trenches, and a deal that keeps their cap space flexible. That's why this extension makes perfect sense from every angle. There's simply no downside to a move like this. At center, the Bengals are getting both value and stability, and that's exactly what every contender needs. But this deal also fits into the bigger picture of what's ahead for the offensive line. Take Orlando Brown Jr., for example. He's got 2 years left on his contract, and if he delivers the kind of season many expect, that'll spark conversations about making him a long-term anchor on the left side. Then you've got the young guys, Amarius Mims and Dylan Fairchild, who the Bengals hope will develop into building blocks while still on their rookie deals. If those pieces hit, suddenly you're looking at a line that can grow together and protect Burrow for years to come. And don't forget the immediate challenge. This week, Lucas Patrick is set to start against Cleveland, giving the coaching staff an early look at how the depth behind Karras holds up in real action. That kind of flexibility matters, especially in a season where injuries and adjustments are inevitable. So, the extension for Ted Karras isn't just about rewarding a reliable veteran. It's about setting the tone for the future of this offensive line. It signals that the Bengals want leaders in the trenches, stability for Joe Burrow, and a foundation that can carry this team deeper into January football. Moves like this don't always make headlines, but they build championships. And Cincinnati knows it.